What's up, everyone? I'm CL Connolly. And today I just want to talk about, are activists going too far? And I'm going to explain the background real quick before we start talking about that. So this right here was my vent hood for my stove. I don't know why I did it with quotations. That's exactly what it was. It's my vent hood for my stove. And apparently there is a lot of condensation and stuff that's building up inside there. So it would drip onto the stove. And if we turned on the fan, it would pour down rain and stuff inside the house. So we took it down, or we opened it up. My husband opened it up to try to figure out what was causing all of that condensation in there. But because that fan motor is electrical, he felt the need to take the whole thing down and reorder an entire new one because he was not going to deal with moisture being inside something that was electrical that could potentially cause a fire. So he took the whole thing down, ordered a new one. He just hasn't put it up yet. So that's that. The tree that used to be on the end of the sofa has been moved way over there because this little one has been pulling the leaves off of it. It's a fake tree. We really don't want her pulling fake leaves off of the tree and burying it, whatever. So because she runs down the couch and plays with the tree, we just moved it to get it out of her way. And this stuff over here is just empty boxes. That's it, the end. Okay, so that's my background for right now. Anyway, oh, excuse me. So, have activists gone too far? Are they doing too much? Here's my thing. I feel like there are people out there who are attempting to be these activists and, oh, I need this, and oh, I need this, and we have to fight for this, and blah, 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 blah. And I think to myself, what are you really fighting for? We live in the United States. The government has never given a shit about the citizens. The loudest voice, yeah, okay, so you get recognized. The loudest voice gets recognized. So the government makes all nice and says, oh, we're going to do this for y'all and we're going to do this for y'all. Do they? No, they don't. They don't actually do shit for any of us. You know, that's just how I feel. I'm neither right nor left. I don't give a shit about any of it because I believe that all politicians, everyone in office that has a seat, they're liars. They say what you want to hear and you're like, yes, that's what we need. We need this person in office to fix this country. No, bitch, we don't. We don't need that person in office to fix this country. What we need is someone who really gives a shit about the people who are having trouble paying for their groceries or making rent. And the fact is that, I'm sorry, but back in the day when I bought my first house, it wasn't hard. It was not hard to buy a house. It wasn't 100 ways to fuck over someone that can't afford shit. You know, that's the point. It wasn't expensive. My very first house was $124,000. That's it. That was in the early 2000s. As a matter of fact, that was 2007. Yep, 2007. So in just a few years, if you look at who the presidents have been in since then you can see that there are two, and I'm just going to put it that way, there are two presidents since that time who have come in and caused such an uproar in inflation that has caused everyone to get screwed in every way because they only care about the rich people. They don't care about people who really work paycheck to paycheck because they never have. They've never had to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. I don't give a shit what they say how their childhood looked. Bitch, you're a liar. You are a liar because in order to become president, the one with the most money wins. That's just how that works. And that's exactly what I'm going to say. That's how the presidency works. The one with the most money wins. because they're the ones who are able to put out the most ads and get into people's heads, and the ones who have the cult mentality to follow someone so blindly, they will actually just, oh, that's the one we need to vote for. That's the one we need to vote for. And my biggest issue is that right now, the two that are running, I don't even know if I can say there's two running. There's one that's actually running, and then there's one that was just put in front of everyone and said, okay, that's the person now. But out of the two, there is one that is probably best suited for the position. And that person is actually perfect because they are a business person and they know how to run a business. That's all I'm going to put on that end. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not putting anything else because everybody in a political stance, anyone who sits in Congress or the House or anywhere, they are all liars. They lie. They tell you what you want to hear. And then once they get in there, they don't give a shit. They don't care what the hell's happening. They're fine. They just send their maids or their, whatever. Are you going to sleep in there? I think she's going to sleep in there. I'm sorry. But they just send one of their servants to go get their groceries or whatever. They have nannies for their kids and they don't care. They don't care. And the activists that are out there trying to yell and scream to the government to do things, they're also the ones who get upset when Republicans win. When Republicans win the presidency, they're the ones who get all upset and pretend like, oh, I'm never going to get anything that I want. I'm sorry, activists. I cannot, I'm going to put it this way. I hate activists. I hate people who scream and shout and say, I don't get anything in this world and blah, 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 blah. Because how I see it is I see it just like my son when he was 7. And when he was 7, he used to ask for things all the time. My husband and I did not have a whole lot of money when my son was younger. Okay. Yeah. We bought our house for $124,000. That's where most of our money was going. We didn't have a whole lot of money. I worked as a server. I also worked at Toyota Center as a suite attendant, which the Toyota Center is where the Houston Rockets play basketball. So anyway, so we were scrounging by. And sometimes when my son would ask for things and I'd be like, you have to wait for your birthday. You have to wait for Christmas. I never get anything. You have clothes on your back? You have food in your mouth? You have a roof over your head? Sure do. You get everything because there are some kids out there that don't get any of that. So you need to stop. And that's exactly how I feel about this. That's exactly how I see activists. Activists are, I never get what I want. Ugh. What are you talking about? You scream so loud and you make some of the dumbest demands. Nobody gives a shit. No, you're not going to get what you want because you're screaming about stupid shit that only apply to you and not an entire group of people. What you have done is you've caused cult mentality and you've just had these people join your little cult and go, yeah, I want that too. But those people don't even really know. They're just, dumb kids who really have no idea what the hell they really want in life. So they're trying to find something to follow. So they're going to follow the loudest screamer who says, I never get anything I want. I need the government to do it for me. I don't believe in activists. I really don't. I don't think that they should be getting a oh, I'm so sorry. They just want ass pats. I'm so sorry that's not what you're getting. I'm so sorry that's not what you want. What they need is a gentle parent to go over, get right up. I'm so sorry that you feel that way, and I understand that you're having big feelings. I sound really condescending, but I'm serious when I talk about the fact that these activists are literally screaming about nothing. And a lot of the protests and stuff like that, excuse me, a lot of the protesters and things like that. They're protesting things that they don't even know. They don't know what they're protesting for. They just heard something and thought, oh, that sounds good, right? And then people will blindly follow because that's just how it works. And blindly following something that you don't understand. Like, I saw this guy, he walked up to some people who were protesting and he had asked, he says, so what are y'all here for? What are you protesting? And the girl actually said, I don't know. We were just told to come over here because they needed our support. What? They weren't even from that state. They had come from another state, from a university that they were at. They were told that these people over here in this state needed help protesting. So they showed up, but they have no idea what the hell was protested, what they were protesting. No clue. Cult mentality. That's exactly what it is. The one who is the loudest screamer is the one who gets the most attention. That's all that it is. These people feel like they're being treated inhumanely, and these people feel like they're being treated like cattle, and these people feel that they're being treated unfairly. Here's the problem. The louder you shout, those of us who have never given a shit about whatever your problems are, like literally, not like we don't care about your problems and stuff like that. It's more of the fact that your problems are centralized to just you, and you have somehow made other people believe that it is also their problems. That's what it is. You've never been discriminated against. You've never been, there's never been a time where anyone actually gave a shit about, we're not staring at you. We're not looking at you differently. No, the rest of us are just living our lives. You have an insecurity in your life that you have managed to now put on a bunch of other people. So now they're thinking about it, and they don't realize that you have basically trained them, brainwashed them into believing that they feel the same way. They're being looked at differently. They're being treated differently. There's this, there's that. No, it's never happened. And now with social media and everything else, you've got all these people screaming and yelling about shit that really does not matter because it never did before. You felt that way. You had an insecurity. You started screaming loudly about it on social media. A big group of people decided, you know what? Yeah, I feel the same way. So then they all got louder about it. And then now it's a problem. But it was never a problem before. Like, I miss the time in the 90s where there was no social media and nobody really had problems. I mean, yeah, every so often you'd get those stupid fucking idiots who would just do dumb shit. Now it's being announced all over social media. All the dumb shit that gets done, it's all over social media now. Why? Why film the dumb shit that you do and put it on social media? Just saying. Do it quietly. Of course, other people are going to film the dumb shit you do. So there's that. Yeah, you can't do dumb shit quietly anymore. It all has to be for clout. It all has to be for followers. Just do your dumb shit. I don't know. I don't understand. All these people who want to, get these groups and say that, oh, I feel underrepresented in Hollywood and stuff like that. Of course you fucking do, because Hollywood only gives a shit about one thing. Hollywood. That's literally all they care about. If it's going to make them money, that's how that works. They don't care otherwise. They don't give a shit. Hollywood doesn't care about representing anybody. Really doesn't. And in literature and stuff like that, I write the characters that I know. I do what I can to try to write characters that are diverse enough. I don't give too much description. I give kind of vague descriptions where you can understand what I was going for. But number one, because I'm a 110-pound white woman, there are a lot of things that I cannot write about because I don't know anything about it. I really don't. That's just how that works. I don't know anything about certain things. So I write vague descriptions of little things here and there. And yes, I do have sensitivity readers. I do have people who will read things and tell me, hey, you might want to pull back on that. Like, I used a word in Killer Suburbia And I made sure to have my sensitivity readers read it. And I had one person who said it was okay to use this word because the other characters were in like his social group type of thing. So it was okay for them to say that to him. And I had others who were all like, I don't know if you really should use that word because that can actually be considered as derogatory because you specifically aren't in that group. I just took the word out. I was like, you know what? I got this one saying it's okay. I got this one saying it's not okay. Just to cover my ass, I'm taking the word out. That's it. That's just how it worked out. So my thing is that, yes, I do have sensitivity readers. I do vague descriptions of my characters that are implied as to what they look like to kind of give you a sense of what they look like. I'm not going to go out there and tell you that I have a character that weighs, 200, 400 pounds or something like that. I'm not going to do that because that's just rude. Who gives a shit about how much the character weighs, right? So in Citizen Assassin, I do make a reference to the fact that the badass assassin has, is a little bit bigger than the other girl. And she basically just makes a reference to her thick thighs and big ass. Jiggly waist, I think is what she says. And yes, I will have sensitivity readers to tell me whether or not her saying that she has a jiggly waist is actually appropriate, because now that I say out loud, I don't think that's appropriate and I really should not put that in there. But I'm just saying, I have characters in my Affair series where I have made reference to the fact that, okay, so in my Affair series, one of the characters, she's adopted. And she is eventually adopted by a family who has two other, she's not adopted, she's just a foster kid. She never actually gets adopted by these people because they're just horrible, horrible people. But they do have two other kids that they had adopted. And I have made reference to the fact that the other two girls, like the main character is a white woman. That's just what I know. So that's how that worked out. But the other two girls are two different ethnicities, and I have made it known. And at one point I do say something about one of the characters. They have the main character, because she was a foster kid, so she decides to take in foster kids. And I make it a reference that one of her sisters that, she grew up with has the same hair type as these other two girls. So she was in charge of, fixing their hair because the main character doesn't know how to do that. Okay, so you understand that those three people have a different hair type. So you understand that, potentially, yes, I was attempting to write a black girl in there because I just thought it was a nice little mix to put in there other ethnicities inside my book, but I didn't want to say anything that could potentially be offensive or stereotyping or anything like that. And I do know that, yeah, okay, so it's just easier to have the character who has the same hair type as these other children. They're she's the one who does their hair, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I ended up coming into contact with a couple of black kids, would I know how to do their hair? Not at all. Not at all. I would have to take them somewhere and ask. That's just how it is. So that's why I put it in the book that way. Now, granted, these books were written in the early 2010s, so it was less offensive, I would say. Of course, the 90s, everything was less offensive. So the early 2010s, everything was less offensive. Nowadays, somebody might find a problem with the way that I put that in there. I don't know. But I'm just saying, everyone has a problem with certain things, and the one who screams the loudest is the one who actually ends up getting the rage bait views and stuff like that. And you've got people who are out there talking about, oh, this is me and this is who I am and blah, blah, blah. And you have to respect me for who I am, blah, blah, blah. But we really don't, because your attitude sucks and you as a person are just a horrible human being. And that is what people don't like. It's not that they don't like, the way you look. Has nothing to do with that. It's literally your attitude. That's where the activists don't understand. Activists are out there screaming and yelling and blah, 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 and give me this and give me this and give me this. Give you what? What do you want? We're not going to just randomly give you shit because you're going to cry and stomp your feet or scream at the top of your lungs because, oh my God. I think activists have really done too much. You're doing too much. Calm down. The government doesn't give a shit about you. It doesn't matter who you see the government attempting to represent. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They're going to make it look all nice because, the president had someone in the White House. It was so great. The president doesn't even know. He had no clue what the fuck was going on around him. He didn't know. They were just told, oh, bring him in, because it would be great for morale for this guy. The guy's an idiot. The guy's a senile fucker. Anyway, I don't give a shit. At this point, I'm not voting for anybody. That's just how I see it. The government doesn't give a shit about us. Fuck all that. Fuck the government. Protect your Second Amendment rights. And if you don't know, Second Amendment right, yes, gives us the right to bear arms. But if you actually look at the rest of it, because most people don't, it's in order to form a militia against the tyranny of the government. Because the government will fuck you over. So they're saying that when the government starts to fuck you over, you hold on to those guns and you fight for your life. That's what it's for. It's for the citizens to fight the government. Now then, can we please get past the fact that everybody wants to take our guns away? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't want to have anything to do with guns. Wouldn't touch guns. Didn't want to deal with them. You know what? I could not care less. What the hell? Just, you know what? You want guns? That's on you. I'm not going to say anything about it. I prefer not to. And then we had a president who was trying to take away our Second Amendment rights in the late 2000s, early 2010s. And I said, you know what? I'm getting a gun. Now I have a 380 and a 9mm. Do I shoot them very often? Nope. Could I? Sure. Yeah. I could shoot them as often as I want. I could shoot my husband's rifles and shotguns and all of his handguns that he has and his revolver and, yeah, we have a nice militia going on right here in our house. But that's because we have the right to that. I'm not going to go screaming and yelling and go, give me my guns. Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to go buy one. That's how that's going to work. I'm going to go buy one. And in case no one's noticed, every time there's a Democrat in office, the ammo, oh my God, what am I thinking of? Inventory drops, where it seems like everyone's buying more, but there isn't enough actually being made. The problem is that there's not enough being made. That's the issue. That's why the shelves are generally kind of empty, is because not enough is being made. So anyway, if there's a regulation that ends up getting put into place. But either way, activists who scream about stupid bullshit, dude, shut up. You're not oppressed. You're not, having issues with any of this or any of that. And whatever your issues are not like racism. It's really not. Racism is fucking rampant and it sucks ass. The rest of this shit that you people are yelling about, it's not even close to that. So here's the deal. Y'all shut the fuck up. Stop being activists. Stop screaming and saying, I don't get what I want around here. Nobody does. The government fucking hates us. We don't have any money. God. I've been wanting to say that. And I say it with my whole chest. I am not stabbing myself in the leg for anything. I never say anything that I will apologize for later. So anyone who is offended by what I just said, I don't care. Literally will never apologize for what I just said. I'm just saying, activists, literally, you're like children standing there stomping your feet in the store because mommy won't buy you the candy bar. Shut up. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I don't give a shit. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just here rambling, stating my opinions. I write slasher books of people getting dismembered, disemboweled, and a lot of other creepy ass shit because that's what I love to do. And I write lots of books. You can get them on my website. Everything is linked down below. That includes my website and all my other socials, because I have that too. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Okay, bye.